Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2018 Subaru Outback Wagon, we're going to be checking out the Hollywood Destination platform style bike rack. First impressions of the rack on the back of the Subaru. I think it's big. You know, it takes up quite a bit of space back here, but you know, that's kind of inevitable whenever you can carry up to 4 bikes. There's just kind of no way around it. With that said though, if you don't need to carry 4, there's also a 2-bike version available as well, so a little more compact there. But one of the things that kind of surprised us whenever we were actually handling the rack and putting it into the hitch and everything was how lightweight it was. You know, they really did a lot to minimize the material and how heavy this thing actually is. So it's a lot more manageable than other big platform style bike racks. A lot of times you almost need 2 people to get it in and out, and that wasn't the case with this one. One person can do this pretty easily. So the way the rack is going to hold your bike is by 3 points of contact here. And honestly, this isn't my absolute favorite design by any means, but it gets the job done. You know, it's going to work. You're going to have a strap on each tire, and then this frame deal here that holds the center of your bike. So to get this off, you want to start with the tires, the wheel straps. Just push those in. Same thing this one back here. Then you want to grab a hold of your bike, because once you unloosen this, there's not going to be anything holding it. Get that strap pushed out of the way. And you got a couple choices here. Some people, you know, just lift this up and over this. Other people like to loosen this up and fold this down out of the way. Kind of whatever you prefer. You know, you can find the way you like to do it best. But I'd like doing it that way because you have nothing in your way. You can pull this off and go hit the trails. So if you look here, this is what was sitting against our frame rail, and it does articulate. So you can kind of, you know, fine tune it to best fit the type of frame your bike has. And all the straps are going to have this nice little rubber piece here to help kind of get a better bite on your wheel and you know, just protect the paint and everything from scratching. I do suggest though putting these straps back, you know, whenever you're done using them. That way they're not, you know, flopping around or anything like that. And these can be folded down too. So let's say, you know, if you wanted to fold the rack up, which I'll get to in a minute, you're gonna have to fold these down. And in order to do that, you can loosen up this handle. This piece will come down, and you can fold them to either side. Something that I did notice is that there's nothing really holding these down at all. And so a trick that I found, if you undo one of the straps, you can actually kind of loop this and back around. That way this isn't bouncing around or anything. Pull it down like that, and that'll prevent that from coming up. Something I do want to address is, you know, being able to get into the back of your Subaru whenever you have the rack on. So whenever the rack is on like this, and the bikes are on it, you're not going to be able to open up your hatch, at least not very far. You might be able to get it open just a touch, but it's not really going to do you any good. And this rack does not fold down. So, you know, really the only way to get into the back of your car is when you have it like this. With that said, if having access to the back of your car whenever the rack is on with bikes on it is a must-have, it's really important. There's a lot of other choices out there. One that comes to my mind I'm a big fan of is the Kuat MV, the 2.0. It's a really awesome rack, super heavy duty, and you can lower it down even fully loaded up. But, you know, I just wanted to throw that out there. But obviously when it's like this, you're gonna have more than enough space. Thankfully, it does come out a little bit here, and you know, you can still kind of get in between here and not have to reach over a huge bike rack to get things in and out. But one of the things this does do is it actually folds upright, and that's pretty good because this is actually pretty long, takes up a little bit of space, and we'll kind of get back to that in a minute here, but I'll show you it getting folded up. They're gonna have a knob and a clip here, so that just pulls out. And we're gonna unscrew this. We'll fold up, you put this this back through. Put your pin in, and now it's going to make it relatively compact, you know, and it's going to free up a lot of space, and you know, you really shouldn't give you too many issues back here. But whenever you are just kind of cruising around town or don't feel like taking your rack off whenever you're not using it, you're probably going to have it up in this position because it's most compact. And just to find out how much room it's going to take up, I'll go from our back bumper to the furthest point here, which is there. And that's only going to add about 14 inches. So actually pretty impressive for a rack that can carry 4 bikes. But whenever, you know, you are ready to use it and, you know, have your bikes on it and everything else like that, this is how it's going to be. And this is, you know, when it's like this is something you're really going to have to pay attention to when you are pulling into your garage or that tight spot or anything like that. So if we go from the bumper to the end, in this position, it's going to add about 40 inches to the back of your Subaru. So moving on down here, the rack is going to work with those 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube openings like we have here today on our Outback. And I do like the fact that the shank comes up a little ways, gets this rack a little bit higher off of the ground, which I feel like is important, especially with the rack of this size, gives you a lot more clearance. And it's also going to come included with a locking anti-rattle bolt. So not only is this going to stay secured to your hitch, but that anti-rattle bolt, what it's going to do is eliminate any slop or play in the connection point here and help, you know, keep things quiet on the inside of your car. Kind of give you an example on how that works. Say if we're going down the road hitting some bumps, you can see that the rack is going to move with the Subaru and not on its own. So at the end of the day, you know, an economical way to carry around a lot of bikes. It doesn't look too bad, and the fact being that it is so lightweight, it's going to be really easy to handle and put in and out of the back of your Subaru. And if you're anything like me, you always want to see the product you're interested in actually working or in action. So why don't we go ahead, load up some bikes, go out on the test course and see how this does. This is our test course. Let's start with the Slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then onto our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or even uneven pavement. And that'll finish up our look at of the Hollywood Destination platform style bike rack on our 2018 Subaru Outback Wagon.